Welcome. In front of me is a OnePlus 12R, and today I'll show you how we can bypass the Google verification on this device. Now, before I get started, let's talk about the requirements right here, because this one will be important. So number one, very important, we will need a secondary device, unfortunately, for this one. So any kind of Android with Google Play Store access will work. It doesn't matter how old the device is. Well, it might be incorrect because, let me explain. We will need to download an application. So if the device is too old, the application might not be accessible on like super old Android devices, but anything released in like several years should be good enough. Now next, you will need to have internet connection, and you can also see that for me the device is locked. So I just kind of want to showcase this. It's locked using a pattern right here. So to get started with the bypass, once you connect to your network, you then want to go back to the Wi-Fi connection page. If you are further in, or if you're at the beginning, just progress to get here, connect. And from there, once you have connected to your Wi-Fi, you will have these information icons. We care about the one that is next to our connected network, because if I showcase this here, you can see there's only like two options plus join network. If I click right here, okay, it's not showing password, you can see it gives me much wider array of options. Now in here, we care about the sharing option. And I am going to hover my hand over the screen just because it's going to show up with the QR code and the password for my Wi-Fi, so I don't want to like basically dox myself. But you can see that right below the QR code we have a nearby, so select that. Next we're going to select continue, need help sharing, and we're good to go. In here we want to select and quickly make sure. I'm going to select share article. We're going to then select messages, new message. In the to field, just slap any kind of random numbers. It does not matter what you type in here. There is no SIM card in this phone, as you can see right here. So it's not like I'm sending this message to anyone. Anyway, so that's what I'm going to choose, just some random number. And from there, it automatically pastes the article in the message field, so we want to get rid of it. And then type in www.youtube.com. Now, I will stress this, the beginning is very important, so type in www. And in addition, which I did discover recently, all of these W's need to be small. If one of them is big for some reason, which happened to me once, this won't work. So make sure that all of them are small, and just a link. From there, send it. And as you can see, it tries to send it. It doesn't send it to anyone because there is no SIM card, but it gives us this message pop up right here. So we can then tap to load preview and click on the actual YouTube image. Now, the reason we needed to type in the www extension is because with it opens up YouTube in full application form factor. If you didn't add it, or one of those W's was big, it would open up YouTube in this kind of like pop-up view, and this does not have all the options that we need for the actual bypass. In any case, once we have YouTube open, you want to click on the account icon. From there, we're going to navigate to settings, about, Google privacy policy, which will open up our web browser. We're going to select continue without an account. No thanks. And then in the search bar, you want to type in hardreset.info/bypass. Now, if you need a moment to write this yourself, do pause the video. From here, scroll down and you will see settings up. Click on the image. It opens up the actual phone settings from the browser, which is pretty neat. And from there, we just want to navigate to home screen and lock screen, home screen layout, and this glitches out and just opens up our home screen. Now keep in mind, the process is still not finished. The device is still locked, as you can see, and we only have back button, so it's fairly limited. So the device still thinks it's in the setup process, even though we have home screen open. But in any case, next we're gonna open up our phone clone application, which is right over here, this kind of black and red with an arrow. Select that this is a new device. Select allow for everything that it pops up with. Next, the other device will be other Android. And it shows us our QR code. So we're gonna move it to the side for the moment. And we're gonna get our second phone that I said we will need for this process. Here, in the Play Store, so just open up your Play Store, search for clone phone. We're looking for the one from OnePlus, so right over here, though things like the one from Oppo will also work. But for the simplicity, let's select the same one. Choose install. Let's open it up. And again, we're going to agree to everything that it pops up with, and every time it shows up settings, you're going to click on it, toggle whatever you have in here, go back, settings, toggle, go back, start migrating, again, settings. Here, when you have a list of applications, look for the clone phone, toggle whatever it's there, go back. Allow all of it. Okay. You can select while using the app for these options when you have this kind of option. And as you can see, this shows up our camera. So we want to point the camera to the QR code. Oh, there we go. So these devices will now connect to each other. Give it a second, it's gonna start scanning whatever's on your device and then try to select all of it. We don't need everything, we just need a single application. So we're gonna deselect everything by clicking right up here. And next you want to choose the application right here, just tap on the text itself, not the checkbox. And find any kind of application in here that is the smallest in size. So it looks like calendar or calculator will be the smallest one. There we go, calculator. Tap on the checkbox. So we have only one application selected. We're gonna then choose start migrating. This will begin moving over calculator to our new device. And it's done. Now, in reality, we didn't actually copy anything because it probably won't allow us. Let's see, am I correct? Yep, failed. But as you can see, this won't matter as you can now progress further. So just quickly make sure I am doing everything correctly. I'm catching up on the guide. Guess we're gonna select resume and select done. And yeah, there we go. So the reason I was kind of confused is because we had the resume button, which we should have the done, but in any case, as you can see, it still worked out. So even though it didn't copy any kind of application, we still kind of skipped over the verification process of the setup. So we are right now close to the end where we get to choose our screen lock, which we'll be skipping later, and then finish up the setup. Next, even though again we have access to our home screen, we're now going to perform one last thing that is going to fully unlock this device, and that is a factory reset of the phone done through settings. So open up your settings, scroll all the way down to additional settings, again scroll all the way down to backup and reset, reset phone, erase all data, and then click on this once more to begin factory reset of your device. Now, number one, I'm not going to go through this on the video, just because it's going to take a little bit too much time and it's pointless. It's just a fully automatic process. And second, as you recall, we already had access to the home screen before, but like I mentioned before, the phone still thought that we are in the setup, which does play a crucial role. So when the phone considers itself that it's still in a setup, if we would have navigated to the settings back then and performed a reset of the phone through settings, it wouldn't work because the phone was still in the setup stage, so it would continue to be locked. Well, when the setup is completed and you go through the reset like this one, the phone just kind of considers setup's completed, you have access to the home screen, I see no problem resetting it. And while it's doing that, it's automatically going to remove all the protection that was previously used on the device. So, with that being said, if you found this very helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.